Okay, back to my oil burner. We're going to do a quick cleanup. I'll show you guys what I do before I fire it off if it's been run for a long period of time. I think I ran it the other day for about 6 hours, so we'll go through what I do. I haven't opened this up since I shut it down the other day, but there's a look on the inside again. My frying pan and the feed. I've seen a lot of guys commenting about the oil tube burning up or clogging up because it gets too hot. So that's so the lower pipe encapsulates the feed tube, and then the tube actually hangs out to the center of the down pipe, and so it actually drips right down the center into the airflow. But then I also have the feed tube suspended in the middle of that pipe, so there's an air gap around it, and then a little bit of air coming down will actually work its way out. And because it's fresh air, it doesn't hurt anything. It just comes out the side. But it keeps that tube a lot cooler, because in the early days I used to have, a couple hours and that tube would just plug up. So let's pull it out. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just pull it out right here, and I'll clean it up. Okay, so this is my pot, right? So it's really easy. It's just a frying pan, a cast iron frying pan, and then this is actually an axle flange. Doesn't have to be an axle flange, but this is what I found that works out pretty good. I have a washer in the center of it. Originally, the axle broke right there, and that's the hole it came with. But it's a little bit big, so I put this on later to kind of neck it down a little bit, because it still gets a little too much air down into the bottom of the pan. But like I said, I've tried all different types of things, and this is just what I'm running right now. So the axle flange, I put a couple legs to make a table, right? And it sits up above, if you can see this, up above. And then I aim it so the oil drips through the center. And then what this does is it gets this thing hot, right? This whole thing gets really glowing hot when it's burning, and along with the frying pan. But that's the part that you want really hot, because the oil touches and it just burns up. And I never have any more than maybe 2 tablespoons of oil in there at one time. That's what keeps the burn kind of controlled. So let me get this cleaned up, and I'll show you what I do to get it ready to get started again. Okay, just a quick scrape out into the garbage can. I don't spend a lot of time on it, maybe 2 minutes. You don't have to clean it every time either. It's just when you get a lot of buildup, it doesn't burn as well. It really helps to have that cast iron and the steel hot and exposed. Like I said, this is really simple. And as you can see on the table here, hopefully you can see that, it's standing up. All right. And then, like I said, the only reason I run this is because just to neck it down a little bit, because even without it, the air just goes through it. So I'm trying to create a bit of a shadow for the oil, because if you get too much air right on the fire, it wants to try to, especially when you try tuning it back a little bit, it wants to try to blow it out. But what I do to start it is I take a blue paper towel. I use these around the shop, and I keep a couple on hand. And I just put a wad right here, right? I set the table right on top of it. Right, you can see it in there, right? And now it's ready to go back in. Okay, so before I put it in, this is just some lighter fluid. You can use diesel, whatever. I get this free from the dump, because people turn this stuff in all the time. And I just get the rag a little bit wet. You don't need to completely douse it. Something like that. Like diesel works really good too. Put the thing back on there. Okay, I slid it back in there, and I started my oil. And as you see, I'm not quite lined up right, so I'm going to move it so the oil starts to drip through the center, just like that. And now I'm going to let it run for, I don't know, about 2 minutes. I want to get that paper towel saturated. Now I didn't completely saturate that paper towel with the fluid, the lighter fluid, because I want the oil to get absorbed up in there too. I just need to get that rag hot enough for the oil saturation to go. and that buys me the couple minutes I need to get the thing up to temperature. So as you can see, there's already a puddle starting right there. So it's like that. And just like that, I start off with just my vents open. I don't even use the forced air. And that's it. So I'll bring you back in a couple minutes. Okay, it's been running for a couple minutes. And you can see, I don't know if you can see that in the film or not, but it's got, the bottom of the pan's got a little bit on the bottom. So I built a little bit on the bottom to warm up. And once it's been burning pretty good, now I'll turn the fan on. And that's just to get it up to temperature. Once I get it up to temperature, then that it'll start to take off on you. And that's where I see a lot of people posting on, you know, when it starts doing that reverb thing, when it's, because it's starting to, all that oil's starting to take off, and then it's starving for air. So, but that's when it starts getting efficient, is when you get the heat up. So let's turn the air on. And I don't hit it hard, I just get it going. I don't know if you saw that, but the flame changed to a little more of a lighter yellow. And we're gonna let it do that for a couple minutes. Okay, it's been a couple more minutes. And you can see my fire's going good here. Right, looks like I might need to turn the blower down just a little bit. Everything's getting up to temperature. So I'm gonna back my fan up just a hair. And then I turn on my fan on the back here, and that just keeps it basically blows on the pipe. I see a lot of those heat exchangers on the exhaust pipe, and that would be a great improvement on mine. And I've thought about building one. My biggest problem is that I get so much oil already, and this works so good the way it is that it's just, I don't know, another time constraint. So it gets so warm in here, and I am losing a lot of heat out the top. I mean, it's the majority of the heat's coming off right where the flame is going up the pipe there on the top plate. So I usually run it like this for about half an hour or 45 minutes, and then I usually wand over, double check my feeds. Like I said, I've already shut my course off. I'm down to my fine right now, and wait till everything gets up to temperature. And as I'm doing that, the oil up here gets warmer, starts to flow a little more. So in a half an hour, I'll back it off a little bit, maybe a quarter turn, and then I'll shut the air off, and then it will just run on draw air. And like I said, most times, like on the weekends, it'll be 6 to 10 hours a day. So hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.